I swear, this town is going straight to hell. Got friends who work for us. About $5 extras.
Wake up, Cole.
Broad daylight, a crowded street. Now I've seen everything.
All right. Yes, it's a dead person.
C. Galetta. Layaway receipt. Pearl earrings. Made out to Bank of Arcadia.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
We should make sure we check the whole crime scene before questioning the witness.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm Officer Phelps, miss. I'm here about the shooting. Did you know the victim?
He was my boss, Mr. Gage.
Mr. Gage's first name.
Everett.
And you are?
Galleta. Clovis Galleta.
You think you could tell me exactly what happened, miss?
I look around the shops at lunch. I was in a store when Mr. Gage, my boss, bursts in yelling that I'm late on my lunch.
And?
We came back. I was angry. I walked in front. I heard shots. I turned and saw Mr. Gage fall.
KTI is a member of the American Century Broadcasting Network. This is KTI, a member of the American Century Broadcasting
You're
System.
lying, Miss Galetta. You know what happened and why. You're going to tell me.
There's nothing to tell. I've done nothing wrong. How can you prove different? How dare you accuse me of lying? God, I think you're horrible.
A man is dead, Miss Galetta, and it's a criminal offense to lie to a police officer. I will take you downtown.
Get out. Get out right now. Send in one of the other policemen if you must, but I won't say another word to you.
Nope.
What's the matter with you? noises. What's the matter?
You all seem to be standing around. Shouldn't you be working? Officer, please
How bad
tell
is
me
it?
what's going on.
Come on, you can tell me.
FN Browning, serial number 01138. Ready to run by gun store.
We have the murder weapon?
But no murderer. The girl saw it all, but she clammed up on it. We can trace the gun.
Eagleson's gun store's a couple blocks from here.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Tate, maintain the perimeter.
I've got friends who work in this
Have you got a death wish?
Where'd you learn how to drive?
What did I tell you about going too hard on the witness? She's a store assistant, not a prisoner of war.
Is that supposed to be funny?
I'm just saying that sometimes you need to pour some sugar on it. What are you doing to this car?
And since when are you the expert? We got the murder weapon, didn't we?
You shouldn't dole it out if you can't take it, Phelps. She was a looker, though. Tell me I'm wrong.
No wonder you're suddenly so obsessed with bedside manner.
The heck?
Officers, what can I do you for?
Officers Phelps and Dunn, sir, Wilshire Division. We need you to trace a serial number.
Sure. What's the make and model?
FN Browning, model 1922. The serial number is 01138.
You don't say. Well, I didn't sell it. Europeans love them, but it's pretty rare you find one over here. Although I did have one in here a couple of weeks back.
Remember the owner?
Yeah. Caillou. Edgar Caillou was his name. Thing looked like he'd never been fired, but he brought it in here for cleaning anyway. Then he bought a box of cartridges and he left.
Do you know where we can find Mr. Caillou?
Told me he was on his lunch break. Said he worked at Hartfield's jewelry store just up on Broadway.
Thanks for your help.
Officer, can I interest you in a new watch?
Officer Cole Phelps, are you Edgar Kalu?
No. Mr. Kalu is out back. He said he'd lie down. I'll buzz him for you.
Son of a bitch! Go, Cole, go!
Hurry, officer! He's getting away!
Hello! Get back here!
Food wasn't great. You're real nice.
There he is, officer! Shoot the creep!
Women don't find
Too late, Kalu!
It's the we find the women.
People like you, but I haven't heard you.
Don't make it worse, Kalu!
Edgar Kalu, you're under arrest for the murder of Everett Gage.
The case that makes you, and the case that breaks you. The one you never solve, the one that keeps you awake at night. The case that gnaws at your guts and ruins your marriage. The case that keeps you propping up a bar as you relive the what-ifs, the might-have-beens, the half-leads, and the half-truths. The case that other cops murmur about whenever you walk past. The case you never, ever discuss.
God's mill may grind slowly, but it grinds finely, son. I hear it's you who nabbed our malefactor from the shooting yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Then tell me, Boyle, I hear you're quite the climber, a man of initiative. How would you like a chance at smiting this man with the sword of justice?
You're asking me to conduct the interview, sir?
I am, young Phelps. You've only been with us a short time, and you've assembled yourself a stellar arrest record. Not to mention the fine work you did in the war, sending heathens back to the hell they came from. But I'm curious as to whether you can turn your hand to interrogation. Takes a certain animal cunning, lad. Do you think you might be ready for that?
Yes, sir. I think I am.
Good man. You need many things for a conviction, young Phelps. A motive, opportunity, hard evidence, and best of all, a confession. If you fail in the former, you can always use a modicum of violence to obtain the latter. How are you feeling, lad?
Fine, sir.
Very good. The evidence is overwhelming. May the cat eat him and the cat be eaten by the devil. Bring me a confession, young Phelps. This is your chance. Don't fail me.
Has my lawyer arrived yet? I want to see my lawyer.
A lawyer can't help you, Mr. Kalu. You shot a man dead in cold blood. You're going to have to pay for that. Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage. Gage was an asshole, but his death wasn't down to me. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
You disappoint me, Cole Phelps.
Get back in in there and raise some lumps, boy! I need a confession!
Has my lawyer arrived yet? I want to see my lawyer.
A lawyer can't help you, Mr. Kalu. You shot a man dead in cold blood. You're going to have to pay for that. Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the Nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying, Kalu. I think you lent Gage money that he owed you payment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with you. Go flap your gums somewhere else. I want my lawyer. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
You disappoint me, Cole Phelps.
Get back in there and raise some lumps, boy! I need a confession!
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the Nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying, Kalu. I think you lent Gage money that he owed you payment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with you. Go flap your gums somewhere else. I want my lawyer. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
You
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
Come on, Mr. Kalu. Make this easier on yourself. Get it off your conscience.
You think I'm stupid? You think I'll just do whatever you want because you're a nice guy? I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying, Kalu. I think you lent Gage money, and he owed you payment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with you. Go flap your gums somewhere else. I want my lawyer. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying, Kalu. I think you lent Gage money, and he owed you payment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with you. Go flap your gums somewhere else. I want my lawyer. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're lying, Kalu. I think you lent Gage money, and he owed you payment.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm done with you. Go flap your gums somewhere else. I want my lawyer. I've just got to keep my mouth shut and watch you run around in circles. We're done. Unless you want to keep making a schmuck of yourself.
Let's talk about the shooting. Do you deny shooting Everett Gage?
I'm a businessman. I run a jewelry store. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure my lawyer can clear all this up.
You deny owning a Browning pistol, serial number 01138.
I owned a gun, yes, but it was stolen in a burglary a couple years ago. You can't prove I used my gun on Gage.
You had the gun cleaned and bought a new box of ammunition. The store owner remembers you and where you worked.
Is that so? It's amazing what the Nebbishes will recall when it suits them.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You left-wing leaning parasite. You expect me to sit here and listen to your drivel?
You call me that? You sit there and you call me those names, you goddamn goy putt snatcher? You and that stup Gage!
Why did you do it, Mr. Kalu?
Gage. He's in the Chamber of Commerce. He's in with all those momsers. He blocked every proposal I ever put forward. Kike this and kike that. He's been trying to ruin my business for years.
Edgar Kalu, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Everett Gage. I respect your beliefs and your right to hold them. I hope for your sake the jury can commute to murder in the second degree. May God have mercy on you, sir.
Masterfully done, Officer Phelps. It is just Officer Phelps, isn't it, lad?
Yes, sir.
Then let me have a word with the Chief of Police, young Phelps. The department needs heroes. A shining, honest face the public can admire. I applaud a man with your talent for unwavering justice. Back to your duties for now, Boyle. But here's a piece of advice. Get yourself 2 suits, get them pressed. You'll be needing them.
Here's your new desk, kid. You're on traffic. The hot sheet is posted here, next to the map.
What's his problem?
That's Biggs. He's an institution.
So this is what all the fuss is about. Why couldn't they build a freeway that goes past my place?
They haven't even approved the money yet, kid. The bond issue won't be till December. It'll be years before any of this will happen. Here's your new partner, Stefan Burkowski.
I've heard all about you, Phelps. You go easy on me and let me earn the odd citation, and maybe we'll get along fine.
I'm here to learn, Detective.
Oh, he's an intense one, isn't he, Mel? Who's intense? The newly minted detective here, Cole Phelps.
Hi, Phelps. I'll be keeping an eye on you. I could spend a little time basking in reflected glory. Make a change from busting hookers and dope fiends.
Who was that, Commander?
Roy Earl, chief detective and advice.
Do they all dress like movie stars?
Well, Roy is a movie star. And the whole of the seedy side of L.A. is his audience.
What is that supposed to mean?
Stick with me, kid. You'll find out.
And now some housekeeping. Warm Central Division welcome for Detective Cole Phelps. Some of you guys may know Phelps. He's the cop who broke the jewelry store murder. Stand up and take a bow, Phelps.
If it's all right with you, sir.
That's an order, Phelps.
Shh, quiet, everybody.
Phelps is one of only 2 serving LAPD officers who received the Silver Star during the war. Really gave it those lousy Japanese, eh, Phelps?
I did my best, Captain.
Why are you war heroes always so modest? I've partnered Phelps with everybody's favorite Pole, Stefan Bukowski.
Hope you like work, kid. Bukowski sure as hell doesn't.
Well, that's why we have partners, right?
Okay, can it, guys. Stick with Bukowski. He's a good cop. He knows traffic inside and out. I'm gonna start you out with 1 case. Do okay, I'll give you a couple more. You screw up, you'll be rousting vagrants and running license plates. Now get down to the PE Freight Depot, 6th and Alameda. A patrolman called in a suspicious vehicle. Signs of foul play. See what you can find out.
Come on, Phelps.
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down with my sap.
They really pushed you through quick, didn't they? 6 years on patrol before I got this desk. You were here in 5 minutes.
What do you want me to say? I didn't ask for any favors.
I don't need this?
Mary says he'll sing. Only if I guarantee he won't. I got the jitters again. Can you bring me a file?
Goddamn captain's making me resubmit the paperwork. There's a crime happening somewhere. Go
He's
find
only a writer, so he can't really help.
You know this place?
Sure. Near the old gasworks and signal depot in the warehouse district. I'll direct.
You put him in there with my shirt? He won't suffocate. The door's open.
All units, a 459 just occurred at 6th and Sarah's. Any unit to handle, code 2
So,
identified.
tell me a little about yourself, Phelps. Are we friends now, Bukowski? We have to work together. Don't be so touchy. Grew up in San Francisco. My father was in shipping. Went to college at Stanford. Did 2 years ROTC before Reno CS at Camp Elliott. Shipped out in early 45 as a first lieutenant. Fought in the Okinawa. Was wounded. Shipped back home. Did a year on the beat. Now I'm here. So you won the Silver Star. I don't want to talk about it. Now let me get this straight. You single-handedly killed 40 Japs on this hill in Okinawa. No, you were up there all night, draped in the flag, knife between your teeth, gun at the ready. Finished? The Emperor Hirohito himself leading the charge again. Take it easy. I did my part, Bukowski. What did you do? I kept the streets of LA safe for the people. Yeah.
All units, a 459 just occurred at 6th and Sarah's. Any unit to handle, code 2 identified.
Gesundheit. Thanks. I can see how much sleep I want to get tonight. We'll have to get rid of the puppy.
Up on the roof, officer. He has a mask on his face. I caught sight when he shoved past me, but be careful. I saw him waving a gun.
Give it up now. Make it easy on yourself. Get the hell away from me.
somebody gonna tell us what the hell is going on?
Now, are we gonna make a bargain or what?
Put the weapon down now.
We're pleased to present the fifth in a series of new programs written by Bill Ramp, produced by Carlton Alsop, and starring Donna Meaching, Slippy, William, Annie Thomas, and Klein put me out of this phone, and Francis Langford. And now Donna Meaching and Francis Langford as John and Blanche Bickerson. Danny Thomas is Brother Evans in the Bickersons are retired. As usual, Mrs. Bickerson.
I knew I should have driven.
John, insomniac extraordinary, presents this audible testimony of his constant wakefulness.
Try making it to the next intersection without killing.
That you, Bukowski? Go on through. Parking lot straight ahead.
I need to get back to work, officer.
The detectives are here now. You repeat to them what you told me.
I did the right thing by calling this in. I'm just a working stick.
Just give them your story and you'll be all right.
This is your first case, Phelps. It's okay to admit it if you're stumped. If you don't know what to do next, just come talk to me and we'll see what we can figure out.
Thanks, Stefan.
You're okay.
I'm Officer Hart.
Phelps, traffic. What have you got?
Abandoned car, probably stolen. The solid citizen is Nate Wilkie. He called it in.
What gives with the corner?
There's blood all over the interior. Someone's copped a full Broderick, but no stiffs yet.
We have an owner for the car?
The car is registered to an Adrian Black, just north of Bunker Hill.
All right, we'll take a look around.
I'll keep Mr. Wilkie talking, but don't make him wait too long. He's the restless type. Nice day for it.
How long you gonna keep me here, sir?
I better get back to work, sir.
Mr. F. Morgan picked up a live pig yesterday?
Optimistic, Cole.
How's the world looking?
Always the same two of you fighting. How about you?
Victim looks to have lost a lot of blood.
A mystery sample waiting at the lab. Practical joker says contaminated soil. My guess, big lump of shit.
Doc?
Detective
Phelps. What have we got?
A lot of blood for a blunt force injury. The victim must be in a very bad way.
Any sign of the guy?
Not unless he's in the trunk of the car.
Get back
back here, Phelps. We're not done yet. Keep searching.
Brand name might give us something to go on. What do you
Check the whole area, Detective. Assume everything's a potential lead.
Happier times, I guess. "32 years old, married. Sounds like an average guy. What was he doing out here?" Stenzel glasses. Home repaired by the look of it. Brand name might give us something to go on.
So what's going on over there?
Sir, I'm Detective Phelps.
Name's Nate Wilkie.
You found the vehicle?
Sure. Saw it just sitting there. Strange place to be parking your car. Figured I'd better take a look. And then I saw all the blood. So I called the police.
Mind if I ask what you were doing out here?
Well, I work for the railway. I was on my way out to the switch and reckoned I'd take a shortcut.
Did you see anybody else in the yard? Maybe somebody hanging around the car?
Nope. I hadn't seen a soul all day till you boys turned up.
Do you know Adrian Black, Mr. Wilkie?
No, sir. That ain't a name I'm familiar with.
You ever seen the car before?
Funny enough, I did. A couple of nights ago, it was over there in the parking lot. I know most of the cars are parked here regular, so it kind of stood out.
The wallet by the car. Was there anything in it when you arrived?
You accusing me of something, mister?
Do you want the patrolman to hold you down while we turn out your pockets, Mr. Wilkie?
Maybe I checked inside that wallet. Not that I was gonna steal anything. Maybe I took a look. But there weren't no money in there. Not even change.
We found a steel pipe with blood on it near the car. Do you know anything about it, Mr. Wilkie?
No, sir. I went straight for the law when I saw the car was full of blood.
When you saw the blood, was it wet, bright red, or darker like it is now?
Darker, I'd say. Looked dry already.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Wilkie. We'll contact your employer if we need anything more from you.
If you have to, I guess. I can't really spend no more time over this.
Somebody's got to inform the wife, Phelps. We're going to notify the wife. You seem to have it under control here.
Yeah, I got this.
Bunker Hill Avenue. You know where that is?
Behind Bunker Hill, a couple blocks north of Central Station.
So, what do we tell the wife?
Play it by the book. There's no stiff yet, so let's see how it plays out.
All units, shots fired off speed. Help. Chateau and Valencia. Chateau and Valencia. Shots fired off speed.
Could be a car theft gone wrong. Make Black drive somewhere lonely, then give him a tap.
But why leave the car?
Well, obviously, someone got a little heavy-handed.
It's the wrong way around.
Well, how so, genius?
Where is Adrian? If you've gone to all the trouble to steal the car, and it goes wrong, you leave the body behind, not the car.
You got something there, Phelps. Doesn't add up. Read about the guy on the crossing yesterday?
No, what happened?
Look out! Over on Lincoln Avenue. This guy's driving along and his oil light comes on. He stops the car and gets out. He pops the hood and...
he's on a rail crossing.
Oh, you got it. He's got his head under there checking the oil, and the Southern Pacific Freight slams into his car doing 90 miles an hour. The car came to a rest more than a mile down the track.
What a pointless waste of life.
You'll get plenty of blood and guts and mindless stupidity working traffic, Phelps. And who needs a Second Amendment when we'll give a goddamn fool the license to get behind the wheel of an automobile?
If it's a kidnapping, why leave the victim's ID? If it's a murder, why leave the car? The evidence doesn't add up.
Free lesson, Phelps. Evidence will only get you so far. You ask me, the whole thing feels hinky as hell.
What I wouldn't give to have your powers of intuition, Mikowski.
Don't worry, kid. Keep watching the master and you'll get there one day.
Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to cry on stuff.
Just a minute.
LAPD, Mrs. Black. May we come in? We have some bad news, and we'd rather discuss this in private.
I'm Margaret Black. We can discuss this in the living room. Please come in.
Your husband drives a blue Lincoln, Mrs. Black?
That's correct.
The car has been found abandoned, and I'm afraid there are signs of foul play.
I knew something was wrong when he didn't come home.
We believe your husband may be injured. We found a pipe on the scene with blood on it.
Oh no! My poor Adrian!
Does the name Insta-Heat mean anything to you, ma'am?
Yes, it does. We've just had a new water heater installed.
Whereabouts, Mrs. Black?
Just outside the kitchen window, at the side of the house.
I'd like you to try and stay calm and remember everything that you can about last night. My partner and I are going to take a look around. When you're ready, we're going to have some more questions for you. Is that okay?
Of course, officer. Anything to help secure my husband's safety.
Well, let's check the place out. Come on. Have a good look around. There's got to be something in here to go on.
A used ticket to Seattle and a suitcase gone missing. Someone couldn't wait to get out of this house. Separate bedrooms, separate pictures. What gives here? Kavanaugh's. So who brought this home? This was only recently installed, not 2 days ago.
Maybe it's time we took a look around outside.
Maybe Adrian was a patron. R&I should have an address.
help. Doesn't tell me anything.
Help me out.
Make sure you cover all the rooms. We don't want to miss anything.
We found a receipt in the trunk of your husband's car for a live pig. This receipt was made out to an F. Morgan.
A pig? Adrian runs a tool business. That would be Frank Morgan. God knows what he's up to.
The situation doesn't look good, Margaret. You need to tell me what you know.
There's no need to be so aggressive. I'm also a victim.
Your husband frequents Kavanaugh's bar?
How did you know that? Adrian practically lives there after work.
So Adrian spends a lot of time there?
Up until recently, he's been away in Seattle a lot on business.
Did your husband tell you where he was going last night?
All he said was he was going to meet Frank for a drink.
But you knew where he was really going because you told him to meet you at the rail yards. That's where you jumped him. How did you hide the body?
You have an overly active imagination, young man. Do you have any proof of that allegation? My husband is missing. You say he may be hurt, and the best you can do is berate me? You're a poor example of a man.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Kavanaugh's bar.
Certainly, Detective. One moment. Kavanaugh's Bar, corner of Aliso and Hewitt, south side of Union Station.
Thanks.
Capitol Hill in Washington is again the nation's focal point.
People might move out of the way quicker if you use the siren.
One of the most crucial periods in the nation's history. Following the Republican landslide of 1946, the GOP now possesses a clear working majority in both branches of Congress. The Capitol awaits the arrival of President...
KGPL to any unit to 459, they're now at 267 South Main. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
Presiding over the joint session, each receives a copy of the President's address. Mr. Truman confronts a Congress heavily weighted by the opposition. He delivers his message on the state of the Union.
In the effort to bring about a sound and equitable price structure, Each group of our population has its own responsibility. It is up to industry not only to hold the line on existing prices, but to make
Jesus, Cole!
justify such action. It is up to labor to refrain from pressing for unjustified wage increases that will force increases in the price level. This is an age when unforeseen attacks.
Can we try to get there in one piece?
We must be strong enough to defeat and thus forestall any such attack.
Hey, I know you. No, you don't.
God damn it.